must ask ourselves some concrete questions, but we don't speak concrete. Hello and good morning, everyone. I am sorry I missed you guys on Friday. I was not exactly having the best time, so I opted to avoid making my attitude or my situation any worse that day by not streaming, which I do regret, but it's for the best, and I regret it primarily because I am not going to be streaming again this Friday, as Thursday I have surgery. For those of you who don't know me, I'm only going to go into this bit of detail on it. A couple years ago, I developed I'm guessing a double hernia following years of trying to strong arm my way through shit. And I'm going to conjecture my gallbladder surgery years prior didn't necessarily go very well. Although everything else seemed to heal just fine. The incision at my navel, whatever. So I'm going in Thursday. I had that repaired. They are doing a mesh. And so, with any luck, it will heal once and then it will be done. So, here's hoping. Today is busy for me, though, as I had a doctor's appointment this morning just after the stream. Depending on how it goes, I might even extend the stream in that, but I do have to call the surgeon's off the operating room. That's the word I'm looking for. I do have to call the operating room here on after 1 o'clock to confirm my appointment, my time in that for Thursday. According to the paperwork, it's only going to take an hour and a half to have this all done. But I need to be there 3 hours early and this and that and whatever. So Thursday, I am really looking forward to Thursday, especially since we're right now in our last day of cool weather for the next bit. And then we are just going to go completely, as the phrase goes, go completely tits out with hot weather here, being the day of my surgery or the day immediately after my surgery, topping out at just under about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to be 34 Celsius. So it's going to be a week. And that only good news is, and I guess I can count this as good news, is I have 2 weeks off from work for this surgery because of where it's at and everything else. I'm supposed to be on bed rest. That being said, I've only ever successfully been on bed rest once. And that was when I had the flu, that I was so sick that I got up to use the bathroom and vomit. And that was it. I slept pretty much for 36 hours during the initial onset of that. Maybe a little bit too much information, but reality is sometimes just too much information. So, all that good stuff being said, today is Tuesday, so we are back into .hack. After the events of last week, I'm really not sure where we're at for the most part, except I'm certain we will be doing the tournament. We'll be starting more of the Holy Palace tournament. I believe we already had our first match, and we won. So right now, as you can see, I'm on the title screen because I was trying to load it up and get some stuff going so I could remember exactly where we were. And I ran into lots of trouble with my controller because for some reason, even though the batteries had just died, I put new batteries in and it didn't want to turn on. I had to take them out and put them back in the controller about 7 times before it finally turned itself back on. So, yeah. So that's what we're doing today, and as far as everything else goes, I hope your last week has been wonderful. Again, I'm sorry for missing Friday. I definitely going to tell you the story as to what happened Thursday night when I was working, as to why I was in a bad mood. So, let's go ahead and get this started, and then because I definitely have to go and do some grinding, because we're level 54, and that's not going to keep me ahead of the game much longer at all. So, we'll do this, and then we'll grab 2 teammates, and we will go grind. Oh, maybe not. Job extend quest. Haseo, good job on the. No, that's not right. All right. Congratulations on winning your first match of the tournament. By the way, I was just looking at the quest shop, and it looks like they have a new job extend quest. You're lucky to have a job quest show up, show up now, aren't you? So if you'd like, Gaspard and I will be glad to help you out. So would you like to do the quest together? I'll be waiting to hear from you.
The job extension. That's the kind of quest that gave me my second form.
The one at the very beginning of the game when he had all the armor-looking stuff in the tail.
I remember the layout of the dungeon was really tricky, and it was easy to get lost. And it was Antares that helped me find a solution. I know those guys said they'd help me, but I wonder if they'll really be okay.
Well, we'll be taking them and going and doing some leveling, Haseo, so no worries there. Dear Haseo, thank you for your regular patronage of the world. Starting today, we have unlocked job extend events. The conditions to participate in them are as follows. You must be an adept rogue who has gained their second form. Done. You must be over level 51. Also done. It may be useful to refer to the World R2 official website beforehand for the information to help you strategize. We hope to see many of you adept rogues who have not undergone a job extension. Job extend events are open only for a limited time. Please check the schedule and make plans to participate in the events ahead of time. And of course, if you're not sure why you received this email, please discard it. So, this will access his second form and give me access to a third weapon. So, we'll be having fun with that. I will get Gaspard and Syllabus, and we will go level up some.
Let's go accept the job.
Oh, man. Anyway. And I have a new fan, so if it's one of those things, if whoever happens to be listening to me can give me a chance to get some feedback as to whether it's causing too much interference, hey, I'd appreciate that. So,
Antares, what are you doing here?
job extend quest. Why do you think he's here?
What, am I no longer allowed to come to Doltana when I want?
You know damn well that's not what I meant.
Did he, though? Actually, no, he does. For now, congratulations on winning your first tournament match. But in order to keep winning in the Holy Palace tournament, you'll need something more. So, well, it's a good thing that I want to take them to level because I don't have very many options at the moment. I love Gaspard. He's such a sweet little beast person character. Alright, let's go level up. So they're all level 54. Let's see what I can find within reason. What do I want to do? I guess I want to do a defeat the boss, I guess. Tootin' ain't gonna be that strong. Let's do Buzzing Doomed Belladonna. So, the issue I had Thursday night. So, for those of you who may be, I'm trying to think how to start this. Okay, so those who may or may not know, I have recently. Here. Anyway, I recently enrolled in school. I went back to school because I had applied for a position at my job at Buy More. I applied for a loss prevention position, full time, which would mean I wouldn't have as much time to devote to this. But hey, I'm not exactly doing a whole lot with it anyway, to be perfectly honest. Much to I'm sure everybody's dismay. But anyway. So, I'm going to turn this down in my ear, if I can find the right place. There we go. Sorry, brain lag. I did a 40-hour course in a week, and so I was nervous because last Thursday, this past Thursday, whatever, it was my test. A test where it was 50 points, and I had to score at least 44 out of, or not 44, 40 out of 50 to pass, or I would fail and have to pay to re-proctor the test, which wouldn't have been that much. It'd been $35, but I only paid $95 for it, eh? So, yes, we did, Gaspard. You're a good boy. All right. So, I went and did that because it's literally the last step I'm at or in or whatever you want to call it here. Basically, before I move on. So, I went and did the test at 11 o'clock Thursday. Nervous doesn't begin to quite cut it. What is that? I didn't fight that on my other account. I'm going to have to come here and get that monster. Because I have no idea what this is. Okay. Hanger Bear. I don't think I have this one on my other account. Or my other game. So I'll have to make sure I come in and do that. Anyway, sorry. So I go in, write the test. It's not an essay, it's multiple choice for the most part, and then there's a couple of explain your answers. And I'm just thinking, crap. Wonderful. I'm not very good at it. And so I, 15, 20 minutes to write the test, do the test. And she's like, well, either Violet, the secretary, can give you a call after I'm done grading it, or if you have time, you can sit and wait for your results. I said, if it's all right, I'll sit and wait. So I went and sat in the lobby and waited. I think it took her the better part of 25 minutes to grade the test. Don't know if it was because the proctor was doing stuff on her phone while I was taking the test, and so I don't know if that was part of the reason or what it was. But whatever the reason was, it took her 25 minutes to grade it. Did it? No, I'm sorry. Took her 10 minutes to grade it because I'm thinking of when I texted my husband to pick me up because it was hot. And she comes out and she says, congratulations, you passed. And I'm like, oh, I was relieved. She said 44 out of 50. So I got 88%. So, and I'm almost certain I know what part of it was that I buggered, which was probably scenario questions. I probably didn't answer them properly. So that was my, my own whatever. That being said, I was excited because that means this week I will get my, I'll get the copy of the test, which I need to get my license to be the, loss prevention person. So I did that. Happiest, I am ecstatic. I passed. I'm thinking, awesome, I'll be able to get that job. I'll be able to fill the job posting that I was told, or it had been alluded to that was being held for me, because it's a position that I'm sure that by more corporate wants us to have filled. So I go in and let the big boss know, and because I mean, even for no other reason, I'm ecstatic. I'm not a good test taker. Anybody that's known me for a very long time can tell you that I'm good. I'm good at active participation, all this other good stuff. I am just not a test taker, sadly. But anyway, so I go and tell him, I say, hey boss, just wanted to keep you in the loop. I passed my Alberta basic security training, so I got my license here. By the time I get back from my surgery, I'll have my actual licensing, so I'll be able to start that position. And he was, and when I told him that he's like, well, that position already closed, but keep an eye out for it for when it comes around next time. And so, needless to say, as much as I don't like the job I work for and everything else, and maybe rightfully so, I was a little bit disheartened by that, because when he said, you need this test, you need this license, is that something you'd still be interested in? And when I said yes, he said, okay, good. And I apparently had wrongfully assumed he was going to hold the position for me, as I'm guessing I was the only person that applied for the position. And if I'm not, hey, that's fine. But to the best of my knowledge, and I even asked my management team, nobody's been hired for that position. So, that started it. I just and my one manager, one of the lower managers, basically level below the general manager, said, we'll go talk to him about it. Just keep up on it. And unfortunately, there were some issues with the scheduling and everything else, so I didn't want to waste time doing that because of everything else. So I didn't. And needless to say, I am somebody that, when I get something that really good that happened like that to me and I get deflated that badly, I'll be the first to admit I'm usually in a bad mood. Usually. So, the rest of the shift went well, and then close. So we closed promptly at a certain time, 8:30. That's our certain time we close. We close promptly at 8:30. Business is wrapping up. No more nothing because we're closed. Well, as I am helping people get their stuff and get out the door, this Yahoo starts running up. And I'm like, sir, I'm sorry, we're closed. He's like, well, I was just in there, but I had to go get money from my bank because my debit something, I had to go to get my ATM. I had to go get to my ATM, don't you know? Anyway, didn't say that, but he sounded like that, he got that accent. And I'm just like, you're the guy that had all the refrigerated stuff that had to be put away. And so I radio my supervisors, who are just as happy as I am because they had just finished putting it all away. So, yeah, happy might not necessarily be the word to use, but I'm sure you get what I mean by that. Oh, I need to update this. You should try to keep armor piercer. Anyway, so that started the situation. Now, part of our closing procedure is we won't close the door that, basically when I'm standing at the door that I was at, we're not supposed to close it until the last of our customers are out of the thing, just because I guess it's polite, which, I really don't care about. But, I go back to talk to my supervisor about it and basically complain that this guy shouldn't have been allowed to come back in. He should have been told that if you don't have this stuff, you'll have to come back tomorrow. Because, my department, I'm not too worried about my department or me. All of my work is done when the warehouse is closed. Like, when work is closed, when we close the doors and my department locks the doors and all that stuff, I'm done. Like, my department's done for the day. There's nothing more I have to do, unless I have to do a temperature check for the records, and in which case I waddle off and do that, and then, it's done. It's done quickly. So, anyway, while I am talking to my supervisor, a new coworker, literally her first night, has to deal with this woman who comes in and wants to do a exchange, because the shirt she bought apparently had a little red stain on it. Now, I had to ask my coworker after the fact. I said, was there actually a stain, a stain on the shirt? Because when I'm at work, usually, depending on what the weather's like when I leave the house, I wear my polarized driving glasses, so I don't see everything in quote unquote natural light. Everything's shaded, and I didn't see anything. I did not see anything at all to indicate that there was a mark, there was a stain, there was any kind of discoloration on this white shirt she just bought. And so I'm I'm talking to her, and I said, "Ma'am, we don't do exchanges. Our policy is you return the item, and then you repurchase it. And unfortunately, the return department is closed, and the cashiers are done for the day too." I said, "We're just." I didn't say anything about there being one guy in there. I just said, "We're closed for the day. I'm sorry. There's nothing more I can do to help you." "Well, I live an hour and a half out of town." "Ma'am, if there was something I could do, I would be happy to do it, but there's nothing we can do. We're closed. By right," and it's one of those things I wanted to say, by right, what the time it is, you should not even be able to access the store. Because it was like 20 till 9. And so she's like, "All right, I guess I'll come back in tomorrow and do this, and then I'll cancel my membership." To which I said, "Ma'am, okay, if that's really how you feel and that's what you think is best, then please do so. Otherwise, I'm sorry, there's nothing more I can do to help you." So she starts leaving. She's, behaving much like a Karen. In fact, I would say she is a Karen. But anyway, so she's behaving like a child. And so I applaud her, I applaud her tantrum because she's putting on a show. That's literally what she's doing. She's putting on a tantrum in a show because she's not getting her way. So I'm doing that, and I'm saying, "Have a good night. Please drive safely and take care." And as I'm turning around to go back into the store so that way I can get some other stuff ready to close the door, I hear the famous phrase, "fat fucker." And that was it. Pretty much it. I was like, okay, Patty's coming out to play. For those who don't know, I have a quote-unquote drag persona. I've never done drag, but my drag stage, whatever, would be Patty Von Petty. And so when I really lose my shit, she comes out to play. Compressed wing cap. Yeehaw. So, that being said, I hear, "fat fucker." I cannot tell you any logical reason in this world why. But for some reason, the first thing I thought to do was spin around immediately, and just like in the Skyrim games when the Dragonborn screams, I mooed at her at the top of my lungs for a solid 5 seconds. And this wasn't just a loud move. This was, I screamed. It was raspy and whatever else. And then she said, "Eat a dick." Now, I finished her off because she was like, "Eat a fucking dick." I said, "I fucking do." Well, needless to say, she really didn't have nothing much to say to that, because the only thing she was much softer than before when she screamed, "Eat a dick." She's like, "Well, I fucking figured you did." It's just like, if I would have been thinking, I would have said, "Yeah, and I do it better. Your husband says I do it better than you," but I wasn't thinking that far in advance. Because, don't come for me like that, bitch. So, but that being said, that kind of just set me off, I guess. Thursday night, and I carried that, much to my own chagrin, displeasure, all those other good words. I carried that right up until Friday evening, roughly, was when I finally dropped it. Granted, lots of people loved the story, because, apparently they never thought of, someone like that just looking at him going, "moo," but, I have. Obviously. So, yeah, that's what happened. And that's why I canceled my stream on Friday. And that's, that's what my Thursday was like. And then Sunday, same thing happened, essentially. Except my poor coworker, her first night there, first night working with me, and she got to find out what a loony I am. So, like, not even told. I apologized to her up and down, left, right, and sideways. And she said, in all honesty, that because she was telling this woman the exact same thing I did, she wouldn't listen to her either. But I'm guessing because I was a guy, I came over and told her she whatever, and then she thought I'm guessing she thought, oh, I'll play the whatever and bat my eyelashes and he'll fall for it. It's like, yeah, no, sorry, eyelashes don't work on me, baby. Excuse me. I'm trying to finish. I need to try to finish my coffee before noon because I have a CT scan today. After I call, looking for my OR. And I think it's 2 hours, but I'm going to try not to have any milk or coffee or anything like that afternoon, so that way I can, be sure I'm ready for the thing. I'll only be drinking water because I'm supposed to drink 2 big things of water an hour before the CT scan. So, and yes, Syllabus is right. Not Syllabus. Gaspar's right. The face on those duck creatures are funny. Shame I don't have any stronger weapons yet. Frick. Do I have any stronger? No, I checked already. Never mind. Excuse me, my brain just kind of dislocated. So. What do I want to do? Let's do this one. Essential Wraths Belladonna. So, anyway, Saturday, it was a much simpler thing. We closed earlier on Saturday because it's the weekend. And so, we're closed. We close at 6. No more people coming in. No one else is coming in because it's after 6. And so, we had tons of people come in just beforehand, though. And because of the greed of our management team, we are not allowed to tell people, when it's 6, when it's like 5 till 6. Sorry, we're not letting anybody else in. We're not allowed to drop the door until the very last minute. And so then we usually wind up with a crowded facility and tons of people just trying to quickly do all their shopping in 2 minutes and getting mad that they can't get it all done. So, but anyway, so that's the reality of Saturday and Sunday shopping, by the way. So anyway, that happens, and I am watching as people slowly trickle their way out. I get to, I'm gonna guess it's about 25 after 6. So this isn't 10 minutes. This isn't 5 minutes after closing. This is 25 minutes after we close, and they're not making people who are sitting in our eatery area leave because they came in literally the last minute to the point that our food service staff could not get there in time to close the thing, so they had a whole bunch of food orders that had to be made, and some putts decided they wanted to go ahead and still sit at the tables in spite of the fact that we're closing. And so as I do this, I'm up at the door by myself this time, which fine. And I wind up getting this lady coming in. There's only one other person in the building, and he's just ambling his way out the door. Like, he's not even in a hurry. It's by the fact that, we've got the cleaning machines out on the sales floor just on the other side of the registers. That's what I'm looking for. We've got, the cleaning machines are out. There's forklifts and other stuff moving around to move product in spite of all that, he's just ambling his way around like it's he's in the middle of a public park. Lady comes in through the door, and I said, "Sorry, ma'am, we're closed." Same as always. "Sorry, we're closed." She's like, "I just need 2 items." I said, "Ma'am, we're closed. The tills are closed. There's no one here to serve you." And that she's like, "Come on, I just need to come in real quick and get 2 things." I said, "Walmart's right over that way. Walmart's right over that way. You can go and get it there if you absolutely need it." She said, "I tried and they don't have what I'm looking for." And so, much to my usual whatever, I screamed. It wasn't like usual where I said, "No, now get out." I literally screamed at her at the top of my lungs. Again, because I just lost my temper. And she said, "I'm going to call the cops." To which I didn't. Or I said, "All right, fine." And to which I said, to which she just kind of walked away. Finishing that security course like I did, anyone was going to get hauled off, it was going to be her under the Petty Trespassing Act, because she had been told 3 times already to leave the property. And I would have said, "Yeah, haul her off." But that's me, and I really don't care what my management would have said. But anyway, so yeah, that became a rather disturbing sequence for me this past week. So, because I'm whatever, I lose my temper. I know my background and my whatever because of my father. I will always hear his screaming at me in my head in that periodically, and I scream the same way he does. And usually when he would scream like that would be when the beating started. And so, unfortunately, I am prone to that, because the last time I screamed like that, I almost choked my brother out over something stupid. So I will be the first to admit that on my absolute worst days, I have an abhorrent temper. But I do my damnedest, whether people think I do or not, to not actually lose my temper in spite of all this. You need to quit losing your temper. You need to stop getting so wound up. And it's like, you haven't seen any of that yet. My behavior is much calmer than what the reality of my conduct would be if I was legitimately mad. So quit acting like you know anything at all about me. But anyway, so yeah, that's been my whole thing. And then of course I had a dear friend who always says, "I'll watch your stream sometime," but never does. And if you're watching today, surprised. Yes, I'm an ass. But anyhow, he and I were talking because we openly talk about various aspects of our life, and one of the things that we talked about that he opened my eyes to was the distinct possibility of basically me having is it personality disorder? Maybe it's not a personality disorder, but anyway, he opened me to the idea that maybe I could be suffering from some level of bipolar disorder. And so, was after talking to him, and the last time I attempted self-harm, I contacted a psychologist, and we went through whatever, and I talked to him about some of it, because I said, I'm noticing, peaks and whatever of, really good moods, and sometimes they just drop off suddenly, and then, other times I'm just completely, for weeks and weeks and weeks, I'm whatever, blah, 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 15 tests later, not exactly, and he's the one that we narrowed it down. He said, "All right, Rogue, you've either got major depressive disorder, or you've got bipolar type 2. And I said, okay. And he said, he said, I don't want to put a final diagnosis on it yet because he said, I'd like a second opinion from a proper professional. Hence why I've been waiting for however long to see a psychiatrist to get that second opinion as to which it is. After talking to the same friend that convinced me to go there and everything else, I recently found out that apparently when I am having, you know, when I'm having my bouts of irritability, especially, that can be a sign of mania. It's not just being, overly energetic and mind racing and everything else. Apparently, and I have to go in and do some detailed checking on this because my surgery coming up, it's unfortunately not a priority for me at the moment. Because I have my medications and that. So, anyway, I have to go in and look at it. But he and I talked, and he said, yeah, when you're in your, irritable moods, since you always seem to be irritable, which, I am, he said lots of times that could be a symptom of a symptom that for you are in a manic episode. And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting to know. Yeah. And so, after talking to him and whatever it is, I'm kind of wishing that I could get in to see the professional psychiatrist to get his opinion, because I'm certain after it's all said and done that I don't have major depressive disorder. I probably have bipolar type 2. Because I don't, like, as far as traditional hypo or as far as traditional mania, I should say, so like the constant gotta go, I'm happy all the time and everything else, I don't experience that. I experience hypo form of that, a more prolonged form of it. I don't get the extreme form. So it's entirely possible that I've been bipolar for years, and because there's more research still being done, and it's not always being discussed, in the general populace, possible that I've not been getting the proper treatment for my mental health. And again, I bring this up not just to verify the fact that, I'm a little bit on the crazy a little bit on the crazy side. I think anybody who knows me knows that. It's because, in spite of the way things have been for, like, our parents, our grandparents, whoever else, we need to open up, and especially the way the world is now, acknowledge our psychological health, our mental health, whatever you like to qualify it as, needs to be treated as seriously as our physical health. So the fact that, I have a hernia that is finally being fixed after being ignored by my primary care physician for 9 years, that's, in my opinion, should be seen as serious as the fact that for all of these years I've been suffering with an improperly diagnosed disorder, disease, condition, whatever you want to call it. I've been suffering sometimes, struggling always with it. So I feel that's always part of why I am open and honest about my medications, my diagnoses, something like that. And that's why I'm always willing to discuss it with you guys or whomever really wants to discuss it, because I'll be honest, when I was a lot younger, I was always under the assumption that there aren't many people like me who, even when I thought it was just depression, there weren't many people who suffered from depression, especially my age, because I was 13, 15, something like that, after years of bullying, that I was formally diagnosed with severe depression, and anxiety and a bunch of other stuff. So, like, I think at least in my own opinion, it's important that this sort of stuff is discussed, so that way people don't feel alone. Nobody feels like, oh well, this is, for lack of a better term, this is just a me problem, because it's not just a quote-unquote me problem. It's not just a quote-unquote whatever problem. It is a legitimate issue that unfortunately affects a lot of people, and sadly there are some people that they just don't want to discuss it. They don't want to have to think about it. They don't want to any of it. And it's sad, because that makes things so much more difficult for people who are already struggling. And our current state of everything, personally, I don't think it helps. Well, what do you mean, state of everything? I would say everything in regards to the way, in the case of the U.S., the way the U.S. government operates and their lack of doing anything except trying to squeeze money out of us. The fossil fuel industries for doing everything they can in certain countries to try to continue their use of a product that unfortunately is leading to situations where now across the world we're seeing hotter than normal temperatures, more severe than normal weather. Corporations where no matter what you buy, there's only 6 conglomerate companies that own, at least in North America, they own everything. Everything that you can buy at your Walmart, your Kmart, your Target, your Costco, your Sam's Club, all of it's owned by 6 people, or 6 corporations. If it's not, if it's something that you're expecting to be able to find at all those places, then you have your generic brands, but the generic brands are usually owned and operated by the same people, just under a different shell company. So, those of us who come to that realization, it's not surprised that, our mental health is not necessarily as good as it should be. Those of us in the queer community, queer youth especially, the way we get treated for being even the slightest bit different. Whoop, it's not what I wanted to do. Okay, we'll do this one. Essential Deities Phoenix. All that stuff, the young people in the queer community, the way we get treated in whatever, it's no surprise that we are, severely depressed. The fact that we have crystal fascists that are trying to run everything. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a good reason, because at this rate, they're not just coming after my community, our community, for those of you who are out there with me that are, queer people. They're coming after everybody who is not like them. And I am umbrella leader of the evil organization Badass. Yeah, so bad you had to have me, rescue you. Putz. Anyway. They're coming after everyone now. It's only a matter of time before they stop focusing just on, our community, and they'll start going after ethnicities next. A lot of them already are. Just look at what happened here at the most recent Turning Point USA conference. They had swastika wearing, flag carrying Nazis there, supporting Ron DeSantis, by the way, who has said nothing about disavowing them and their, hateful stuff. So why can't I get down from here? It helps if I'm on the wrong side, helps if I'm on the right side of the hill. Anyhow, so yeah, things are objectively, I guess, maybe not objectively, definitively going to shit. And it's a situation of if you want to stick your head in the sand and hide from it, alright, but honestly, I can't say I think very highly of you for doing so. And I say that as somebody who did that themselves. Back before I was more aware of what went on. Back before I could see the systematic racism that exists in the world. When I was only concerned about what I was or was not getting because I was a, side-gendered presenting male. And when I realized that, and it was my own, and it was something small and essentially stupid too, that I've had to do for my for my jobs, that I realized, yeah, no, this is more than, like, this is real. Why I was ashamed that it took me so long to notice it. And so, anyway, it's a situation where, yes, change is needed. If you don't want the change because you think that it's going to make things worse for you, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you, because for the most part, based on the conversations me and others that have similar whatever, similar views discuss, we're not interested in making it worse for anyone else. We're interested in making it that everybody has full and actual equality under all of the current structure set up in North America, especially. I can only say North America because I've never lived in Europe, but I'm sure they have their shit shows too. And if somebody out there who lives in a European country can, basically, feels up to explaining some of the situations to me, I'd be happy to listen. But I'm not going to, I'm basically not going to say that it's just wherever, because I don't know for sure. I know Poland has just elected a nationalist, Nazi-ish, well, no, not Nazi-ish, neo-Nazi regime over there apparently. So I know Poland at least is treading in dangerous grounds right now. U.S. has been there for years, even long before that orange bastard. So, yeah, as far as that goes, that's, yeah. And of course, if you couldn't tell, obviously, I am I don't even like the term far left, because as far as I'm concerned, a lot of this should just be very, calm and decent shit. Like, there's no reason why this shouldn't be, certain things should not be existing now. Just like how the media refers to, Sanders, and that as the far left. In all honesty, as a populist, he's very close to center. Like, he's the actual center. Everybody else has moved right. They are moving into dangerously fascist territory, and I don't know. It's a situation where, you can't say that, you should be nice to them and everything else. I'm sorry, but, you can't put lipstick on a pig and expect it not to look like a pig. So, take that with a, grain of salt or whatever you want to take it with, but, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So, but anyway, I guess we can. Trust me, I could easily just drone on and on and on about that. I'm very whatever with it, and the fact that most of my upper management at Buy More are Trump supporters does not make for a very happy place for at least me to work, because I believe that their political stances and what they think is, who the people that they think are good people and whatever else, it's a direct reflection of their moral integrity or lack thereof. Which, that's why I believe that you shouldn't discuss politics. No, it's good to discuss it. It's just not good to get abnormally violent over the subject. Because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm bizarre in my thought process. But what you're allowed to be done and passed in your name by elected officials speaks directly to your morals. And even my own family, unfortunately, I find some of them to have some very disturbing lack of them, considering how we all grew up. Like, there's quite a few in my family that our family, we came from extreme poverty. I'm not necessarily talking about my brothers or my stepbrothers or my stepsisters, because, whatever. But like, the entire family started out in poverty, from great grandma on up. And my mother did her best, and I guess my dad did his best. I don't know. I don't like the man, so it doesn't bother me. My parents did their best, and thankfully I got out of it and so I escaped extreme poverty to just being regular poverty. And actually, no, some luck and some running away and all that, and I got as far as I've gotten. So anyway, now I will get off the subject onto something different. That something different being Stray. I'm sure by now everybody's seen game. Well, I haven't seen gameplay yet, but I'm sure everybody has seen the images, the memes, the whatever. They talk about how the game rewards you for meowing somehow. I don't know how. And so I was expecting it to be quite a bit more, but excuse me. Oh my lord. For Canada, at least since that's where I'm at, the release price is, I think, just under $40, to my surprise. So I will more than likely be buying it when my finances are, in a bit better position, and especially if I secure a job working as a loss prevention person with the salary raise, because according to information from last year, when I was making $17.50 an hour, loss prevention people were making $19 an hour. So even if that's all I get is 19, I was only expecting another 50 cents at my current position. I'll go and start at a new company, because after 2 years, to be making more at a new job than I've been at one for 2 years, and then they're talking about making my current wages the new, every entry-level wage. Tell me, why should I support a company like that, especially with my location? I talk to people from all sorts of, little, whatever you want to call it here, and the people from the other ones look at me and it's basically a situation of, how is your location that terrible? I don't know what else to tell them except my management team is abhorrent. Because really, what else can I tell them? So yeah, so we'll wait and see what happens with that, because I have to contact, as much as I don't like dealing with them, I have to contact our police department and get a couple of papers saying essentially, oh yeah, he is cleared enough, or he's, he has nothing in his background, so he's okay to become a loss prevention person. So like, okay, whatever you say. I'll remove that just to put it in my thing. So, well, we went up 10 levels, so I think that should be high enough. And let's see what time it is. Let me finish this coffee. Wait, the CT's at 4:30. Oh, so I still have another half an hour. I could go make another one if I wanted. Oh, obviously, my little bitty brain don't work today, so don't mind me. I say we've leveled up enough right now that might be a fair idea to do that quest. And actually, I should probably go to the at-home and put all the gear together and try to power up some armor and stuff a little bit more for at least Syllabus. I don't think Gaspard has much of anything I can get him. So, alrighty. So we are going to put my stuff up too. As you notice, I've got 400,000 GP. This is not a lot, actually. My other game, I mean, yes, I'm at endgame. My other game has just around 1 million, and I can go through it just horribly quickly. Might as well do that so that way I can solve that. And then we'll do up his. Yeah. Go, just, I'm pressing the button too fast. So, anyway, I just, you know, I do apologize for being any kind of wet blanket or whatever today. Just kind of, don't want to say I'm in a mood, but I'm just kind of with a lot of things right now. So, oh no, that's right. I confused myself. And so I'm just kind of. Rightfully so, maybe. Rightfully not so, maybe. I don't know. So, Guild Shop can get some equipment now. I will give him that one. This can go. And that can go. Alrighty. While I've been off camera, I think I mentioned this last Tuesday when I streamed for just the tiniest amount. I did learn how to use I think it's called Open Shots, something like that. It's a video recording software. That's what I'm looking for. Software. It's video recording or video editing software. So I will be trying to put together, eventually at least, some videos for my YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out yet, I would ask that you go and check it out at Crescent Fang Creations. If you need a link, I believe that might be one of my Twitch channel. But if you have my contacts with me, anywhere you can DM me, and I will be happy to provide you a link. Because YouTube will be my default go-to. I know I probably should have read it, but I'm almost certain this one is exact same as the previous one when I got this current form.
With the power I believe in? Anyway, all we need to do is to complete this area.
Well then, let's go! We're moving out!
So, oh, I just realized I haven't uploaded those new pictures for my intermission yet. That's alright. Bookmarks. And before I started, these are all just basically places that I can go to level and get equipment from. So, yeah, I'm pretty well over leveled now, thankfully. Theta, Burning Fallen 7 Sins. I get to be Meliodas. Anyway. Yes, I know. I am that. Whatever. Fairy's Orb. Lord have mercy. I believe this one might be the one that I was thinking of that originally got me to where I wanted to read some of the like behind the lore kind of stuff for the game, because this one is the map where some of the doors I can't actually get through them without answering questions related to the world
This is a piece of cake.
of steel. I think that's level 51. Yeah. Might as well just keep going though. 2 more levels. 2 more? Yeah, 2 more levels. And I'll have level 68 equipment.
Let's get him!
Tiger Blitz!
We won!
My back is very sore today. Because we had warm temperatures and then it was supposed to rain, and I don't think it ever did actually rain. And it's cooling down, and then of course heat up, and sadly I believe that as much as it would be nice for those of us like me, and I'm sure you probably have family members that suffer with arthritis, as much as it's nice to be to have some kind of permanent treatment for severe arthritis, I doubt I'll ever see it, because it's not so much that, what is it? Basically, it's just that the amount of times that it hurts and it interferes with my plans or stuff I would like to do or want to get done, and it just kind of takes all the energy out of me. Okay, so this is a talking door. They'll be asking me questions about the game and history and the lore behind it, and so I have to get these right, otherwise it does damage. So here's a question on the world's history. When the younger deity lost his life, what happened with his last breath? He created the heavens, if I'm not mistaken. Correct. Another question on the world's history. What name was the younger deity's spirit given afterwards? I believe it was Ceranos. Well, oh no, took some of my chimspheres. Okay. Top one? Yeah, spelling is not mine yet. Another question about the world's history. The elves built something in order to be treated the same as gods. What did the elves construct? City of Dawn, Air Seltre, Air Fortress, Fort Ulf, Halls, Grounds, Casino. It was the Air Fortress. And this is actually common in a lot of game lore, like Final Fantasy mentions this in some of the older games, that basically there was an Air Fortress created so that way humans could rival the deities that they, one time believed in. I think there's there's a stage like that in Legend. Well, it's called the Illusion of Time, but it's also called Illusions of Gaia, depending on where in the world you've played the game, because that's where The Nazca? What, that's the second mystic, what you call it there, exists there. And so, as I know, Twitch has this thing about streaming certain games, and because I have to heavily tinker with my setup, I am thinking about doing some like SNES and older game playthroughs, but just as videos for YouTube. So if anybody's interested in that, please let me know in the comments, or send me a DM in that if you have a suggestion as to what you'd like to see me attempt, because I believe Illusions of Gaia, Illusions of Time, be Illusions of Gaia if I can find the right software. Anyway,
The three of us playing together like this reminds me of when we first met.
Anyway, I'll be doing video. I'll put together a playthrough video on my YouTube channel. So.
I bumped into Haseo while I was in town.
At the time, I never thought that the newbie right in front of us was actually the PKK, the Terror of Death.
I asked him how he could be the terror of death and still be at level 1.
Yeah, and then you were PK'd soon after that.
Wait, really?
You were all,
You idiots. I'm not here to have fun.
Oh my lord.
If you've got time to waste, spend it on improving your fighting skills.
Sorry.
Don't get mad, Haseo. Let's, have fun playing.
Let's go.
In a game where everything's preset, your skills, abilities, whatever, you really don't have to improve your skills. You just have to level. Like, duh. I mean, as somebody who's played many an MMO, you do have to learn your class rotations. But, that's... There's nothing else really to do besides, level, learn your class rotation, and then, of course, finding some good gear. Depending on how, how hardcore you want to be. Which I think sometimes that stuff ruins the game more than it does anything else. Excuse me, but that's a personal feeling. Yeah, well, it's 12 o'clock. I guess I'm not going to make a coffee. Because it's going to take a while for it to cool down enough for me to drink it quickly, so... I hate busy days like this. I don't have them very often, though, for that for that specific reason. I don't have them, but I hate it when I do have them. The CT scan, and that they actually wanted to have it on Thursday, and they called me back when they realized, oh, you're booked for surgery. We can't do it that day. Well, I mean, yeah, duh. Okay. World's history again. The elves infuriated the gods and had their powers removed and their appearance changed. What were the elves transformed into? Beasts, chimps, assassins, mecha grunties. Beasts. What race did Sol, the god of creation, create using the power taken from the elves? Grunties. Where there was a race that was jealous of the grunties' wonderful power and wisdom. What race was it? Don't have to think that hard to guess. I believe it was when I was playing through this one on my other game, like by myself, I realized I've done this before. That was the point when I realized, and I mentioned it on the stream here in the previous volume, I've played much further into the game than I originally realized, and I just kind of forgot. What in the world? I am sorry about that. Like, I don't know who did what or tried to do whatever. Like, somebody Bitcoin and crypto. Well, I jumped that ship after realizing how much of a Ponzi scheme it is. So, like, I don't know how or why all these random people on Telegram are adding me all of a sudden. I'm gonna have to go in and check some stuff because I believe I have it set up to be like my phone number at least can be found fairly easily. And that, but I don't know who or how or why they're getting my, unless it's from one of the companies I used to whatever with. Because back before I realized what kind of a scam it was, I actually thought that crypto was going to be a legitimate thing. But too many people have gotten into it and turned it into an oversized Ponzi scheme. So, and then there was also the guy that, back when there were so few people mining the stuff, he had such a huge share, he dropped he sold off his entire whatever, and one man dropped the value of Bitcoin by thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for a really long time. Like, and when I say really long time and that sort of stuff, it's like, I don't know, I want to say 6 weeks, maybe it was 6 months. But because he had so many assets, he just sold them off, and that was the first nail in the coffin where it was like, well, no, this cannot be a viable currency, unfortunately, just because of this. One person can single-handedly drop the overall thing. And then, of course, the crypto bros started, and all that other good stuff. Okay. Okay, so I obviously went the wrong way. So yeah, I got out of all that. Then again, that noise probably wasn't as loud for you as it would have been for me because of the way I have my volume set, so... Sure as hell startled the crap out of me, though, I'll say that. It's getting stuffy down here. Blech. I wish I had air conditioning, but... Maybe next year, maybe my finances will get together and I'll finally buy myself a portable air conditioner. Whether my husband likes it or not is not my problem. I am tired of roasting in my own home. Especially because he's got an air conditioner in the spare bedroom that he lays in and enjoys. So it's like, yeah, no, I want to lay in my bed or even be down here on my computer and enjoy it. Okay, the humans that envied the Grunties spoke the cursed word that had been placed on them and changed them into something ugly. What is the name of that creature? This one I did not know, but apparently Poochie Pongo is a creature. So, the gods, shocked that humans decreated a certain place and closed the road that led to the heavens. What did the god create? Pretty sure it was the Maragubara Wall. Yeah, there it is. After the human world lost the light of the gods, a worried young boy prayed and prayed, and eventually the 8 gods answered his prayers and saved the world. What exactly did the 8 gods do? Destroyed the shadows, sealed the shadows, destroyed evil. I think it's sealed? Yep, sealed shadows. Some of this, I believe, plays on multiple, mythologies, because for some reason, one mythology I can think of just reading that part was the Shinto mythology surrounding Orochi and the 8 heads, and I believe there was 8 gods that were chosen to slay him. But then there's also the story about how Susanoo went on a murderous rampage and tried to kill his sister Amaterasu. So Like, there's some stuff that I don't remember. It's been too long, but yeah. Anyhow, and I believe, I'm certain this is the last floor, but I believe I only got a couple more doors. Yeah. See, this would have been good for last week's title.
Do you remember when Haseo became Kennard's guildmaster?
The Theta, Theta, sudden Sundre shock.
Shot acorn.
We got to see an unexpected side of him.
What was it Annalise said? Everyone really does want to treat other people nicely.
If they deserve it.
I'm warning you. Don't make me keep repeating myself.
I didn't come here to have fun. Haseo.
Haseo.
You guys said you wanted to come along, but you've done nothing but talk, talk, talk. You...
They fought too. It's not like you cleared all those monsters by yourself.
Haseo.
Haseo, you always try to take on everything yourself and go it alone. All of us here are with you.
Well, apparently I don't have any speed talismans. It's weird. I thought even in this one I tried to keep them stocked, but maybe... I mean, obviously I don't have room, but maybe I use them all up on here. I believe I have access to my guild storage from here. I should put all the... I think I have a text of power and a bunch of stuff I should just put in here. I know in my other game, because I'm getting ready to start the third disc, which I've said for the last week and haven't, but I will probably wind up giving all of those kinds of items to Haseo just to see if I can just completely overpower everything and just, you know, strong arm my way through the last of the game, which won't be difficult, but I also have my achievements I want to hunt for and all that happy stuff, so. Should go get some water here pretty soon. Need that.
Just have to get the treasure box and I'm set. Alone, this would be easy. What's slowing me down, or nagging me, or pissing me off, or betraying me?
And who betrayed? Well, I was gonna
Why
say.
do you seek power, young traveler?
Power. The power I believe in.
But now that I fought beside you, I know that's not true. You're always thinking about your friends out there.
Excuse me.
Yeah. But you shouldn't have them in the first place. That way, you'll never have anything to lose. Or so I thought.
Yeah, but Haseo, there's no goal in that. Personally, I think it's also really important for us to slow down and stop. And to enjoy things like flowers blooming around your ankles. Nice things like meeting all sorts of new people.
I mean, I
I remember that.
I'm such an idiot. I always seem to forget the things that are really important. I think I'll bring those guys along after all. From now on, we're moving forward together.
Mm-hmm.
Haseo!
Wait. Let me say this. The beast statue is over there. There are no more monsters.
Mm.
So? Let's go there. Together.
Mm-hmm.
Haseo!
Haseo!
Hey, wait up!
And splat.
Guys.
Haseo, let's go on together.
Yeah. Let's go.
I just want to sleep right now. Don't know why. I'm just tired. That and I'm old, so. Alrighty. Alrighty, so much for the Chim Assassins.
Wait! We have to open up this treasure box all together. The final trial in this quest is all about working together with your friends.
And got Karma symbol.
If you open the treasure box by yourself, the item will just disappear.
And you'd have to go and do it all over again.
Huh, so that's why you guys said you'd come with me.
Yep, that Antares guy told us that we,
Antares? So you're working with him?
Gaspard? Man, it was supposed to be a secret.
I'm sorry. I just let it slip.
You think?
I'm curious. Why did you help me?
Lately, you always look like you've got something heavy on your mind. And so, we wanted to do something to help you out.
Thanks.
Huh?
You're not mad, are you?
Why would I be mad? And speaking of that, stop asking me if I'm mad or not all the time. I mean, is that how you guys really see me?
Duh.
Come on, Haseo. We have to go report to the quest shop.
Fine. Let's go.
I mean, I'm not always mad, but, you know, more often than not, be a fair guess. Unless I'm at home, in which case, yeah, you'd be way off. Yay! I got triple S. What you call it? Give me one moment here. Somebody just messaged me. A friend recently made a new Facebook account after being silent for a while because he was in whatever, and whoever stole the account and anyway, so the person who has his old account just did some stuff to his profile. Left the name the same on it, by the way. But, so he just messaged me about it, and, yeah. Should go back to the quest shop and report it. But anyway, so he was just messaging me about it, because I guess a bunch of other people messaged him about it. But I didn't. I just, told him, you really should give back the profile that you stole. But very well, I shall let you have my true power. And this is now his second form. Which I'd have to look, but I don't think it's all the exact same as it was before. I think his markings on his face might be different, but I could be wrong. You got Scythe Shazal. I can't pronounce it properly. You can now use a multi-trigger that lets you change your current weapon and keep attacking when using skills. This can be set under the skill trigger in the main menu. You also can now use the third awakening, Divine Awakening. At your current awakening, your current awakening has been changed to it automatically. You can change your awakening yourself in awakening mode under the main menu. And needless to say, I love his him getting the scythe, and that for some reason it's one of my favorite types of weapons. I have no idea why. Scythes are weapons that specialize in wide attack areas. If you are surrounded by enemies, you can also knock them all back in a single swing. Also, use Sonic Shock, holding down the A button to use it. You can connect some tricky combos. Never forget those who helped you, young one. Nor the existence of the beloved world that lies on the other side of your power. The power, whatever it was.
What are you looking at?
We did it! You look awesome, Haseo!
So it seems as though you've completed your extension.
Antares.
Well, help me out again. Yeah.
Well then, I guess I'll be off. Be sure to thank these guys, alright?
Thank you, Master.
Hell froze over. Sales now level 67. Alrighty, I have new email. So I can save it. Level 67. I'm trying to remember. I think that's good enough that I can go ahead and just kind of slowly shuffle my way through the rest of the game here. The results are in from Crimson Verses, and there's an important red. Leveling up. Hey, hello, Haseo. Would you like to go leveling up so we arena members can all get to know each other better? Lord Zelkova told me that Theta, excusing illusions route, is a great place to level. I hope you'll call me an Alcade, Adderley. Time to invite Adderley and Alcade and go level up. Let's head for excusing illusions route. Whoop. Hit the right button, please. Hit the right button, please.
Adelie's invited us to go level up. We're to meet her at Theta Excusing Illusions Route.
Okay. And as you can see, they both leveled up a little bit while I was doing that, so I unfortunately did not find any new gear for Adderley, but I believe I did for... Oh, I need to... Main weapons, set main weapon, and E. Okay. So I will set that as my main weapon. Just do that one. And I unfortunately don't have anything else. 36, 36, 40, 37, 42, 40. Okay. So now I will set the multi-trigger. The third form is possible to assign arts from all weapons in the skill trigger. This is called multi-trigger. Assigning arts is done using the same method as assigning arts in the skill trigger. When using arts from the multi-trigger, the weapon that the targeted enemy is weak against will blink. So I usually put Wicked Strike, Lotus Flower, Reaper's Touch. I actually had to level up for that one, so I'm guessing I put enough work in previously to get that one as a default. I want this one to be Armor Pierce, and this one can be Whirlwind. Okay. Alrighty, Adley, let's go level up. I mean, they're just at level for it, so they'll benefit, but...
So, is this area really good for leveling up? Your girlfriend found it, right? Anyway, it looks pretty good to me.
What? No, I'm not his.
I see. For real?
Yeah.
Is that right? That's good.
What? What do you mean by that?
Come on, let's all go adventuring.
Always getting stuck in something you don't want to be stuck in.
It's my turn.
Tiger Blitz!
I'm tired enough that I am going to have a nap after this. Very certain of it. Because I am going to go ahead and... I thought it was weak against... Well, maybe... Okay, I'm wrong, obviously. Anyway, after I finish this dungeon, and that I will be calling it, because I'm going to confirm my time that I have for surgery tomorrow, and then I am going to take a nap before I have to worry about my CT scan. And then I can come home and chill, hopefully, a bit, and go from there. Because, I mean, I am enjoying streaming for you guys, but I'm probably, once I'm in good enough shape where I just basically can't lay in bed anymore, I will probably be, doing some streaming while I'm off for those 2 weeks. And that, so... Like, this will be far from my last stream for a while, because I will be going and, I'll be doing some streaming. I just won't be doing a whole lot because of, surgery. Anyhow. I don't even know if I want to complete this map. But I need to be up until at least 1 o'clock so that way I can call the OR and get booked. Mm-hmm. You didn't, did you? Good. Anyhow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are. Range isn't quite as much as you'd think it would be for this weapon, so it's a little disappointing.
I didn't even break a sweat.
There she got whirlwind. Boop, 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 boop.
Damn, this is bad.
Oh, it's not that bad. Chill. Anyway.
This is a piece of cake.
I must have started there. For some reason I thought I started at a different location. Lordy. I knew I'm old and tired, but that's a whole new piece of cake there for me. Should go through the other side just to make sure there's nothing there. So, something else I did recently, and I believe I did it Friday night, and it was a very smart thing to do. Was I finally downloaded this TikTok thing these kids are all talking about. Anyway, I downloaded TikTok, and I found some amazingly adorable animal videos on it, and I spent 2 hours. Like, I was up until 12:30 when I had to be up for an early shift the next day. I was up until 12:30 watching cat videos, and so it was the awesomest thing I've seen in a long time. And then people dancing to, I guess, sea shanties are now a big thing again. I remember they were a big thing here not too long ago. But anyway, apparently another big thing is people doing this dance to the Wellerman. And some of them are quite good at it. A little jealous. It's something that, I watched a tutorial. I am fairly certain I could probably do it myself, but I would have to have the time and the space to properly practice it.
Come on, there's gotta be someone better.
Whoopsie. I dozed off and I almost went right off the cliff. Anyhow. Yeah, definitely nap time for me after I'm done.
Damn, this is bad.
I hate those little ones because I cannot see their faces that way.
This is a piece of cake.
There was another reason I wanted to mention. The sea shanty thing. Yeah, there's a very interesting song. I believe, based on what I've been able to find, the original singer was some guy named Ethan, I think it was. So I got to watching that lots last night before bed, so that was fun.
Do we have to fight?
Yes, totally. We have to fight. Really? Yeet. Yeah, I'm definitely calling it after this dungeon. I'm completely wiped out for whatever bizarre reason. And so basically I will do this, call the OR, get my surgery time, and then I will be taking a nap and then going to my CT scan. Husband's like, you can't wear your piercings for your CT scan. And I said, I'm pretty sure it's an MRI. I can't wear my jewelry at all, because the CT scan is just of my abdomen. I don't know what is in my eye all of a sudden, but it can GTFO. Yeah. Will ya? Mm-hmm. Rep. Rep. Oh, rep. Fala reps. I don't know if that one... No, because they changed it to something completely different. They're the best heal spell now recovers HP for everyone, or one person at least. So come on, there you go. Mm-hmm. Ah, my face is itchy. Oh my gosh, I am really sorry that I am so tired. No reason for it either, because the heat's nowhere near as bad today as it's going to be for like the rest of the week. So compressed clogs, wooden shoes that make that a ticking or clicking sound every time they whatever across the pavement.
Shall we head back? Now that we've completed the mission?
Adelaide, you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
I knew it. She still hasn't recovered completely. We should head back now.
Right. Oh, Peanut. Terry. Okay.
Good work, everyone. Well, I'll be going home now.
Alright then. I guess we better call it a day. See you later.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for sticking with me today. But as I said, I am going to call it now. I am going to go upstairs, put the number for the OR in my phone, and I'll give them a call here in about 10 minutes. And yeah, see about getting that done. And as much as I'd love to say I will see you guys on Friday, I very strongly doubt I will. I will try to let everybody know at some point how things went, but it's looking like you're going to have to wait until next. It's looking very much like you're going to have to wait until next Tuesday before you see me again, which maybe you're fine with that, maybe you're not. It's entirely up to you. I just do know that I have enjoyed, doing this. Why is this controller being so difficult? WB Multiverse. Oh, multiverses. Just kind of curious because it's got, let's see here, who does it have in it? It's got like Jake and Finn and Tom and Jerry, Steven Universe, Bugs Bunny. I didn't even know that this game existed. Oh, it's because it just came out like last week. Flip. Single player online PvP online co-op Steam achievements. Well, I guess I'll add it to my wish list as well. Alrighty. Don't know when I'll be able to get something like this because I already got enough games like this. But I'll get it at some point. Anyhow, sorry, I was reading. I shouldn't be reading. I should be getting myself together and heading up to heading up to make my call and take a nap. So anyway, that being said, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you guys as soon as I'm healed up enough that I can tolerate sitting in my chair in the heat to stream. In the meantime, stay safe and take care out there, everyone. Alrighty?